Have you ever noticed? Sometimes life hurts once, but we feel that hurt 10 times. Someone says one rude sentence, and we replay it the whole day. A small mistake happens, and we criticize ourselves again and again. A relationship ends once, but the loneliness keeps breaking us daily. Why does this happen? Because life hits us with one arrow, the first arrow of pain. But we hit ourselves with the second arrow, the arrow of suffering. Today, I want to share a powerful Buddhist teaching that can change how you see every challenge, every heartbreak, every insult, every fear. It's called the two arrows of suffering. And once you understand it, you will never look at your problems the same way again. Let's begin. Part 1 is the first arrow. Pain. Pain is a part of life. No one escapes it. Not you, not me, not even monks. We all experience physical pain, emotional pain, disappointments, rejections, failures, loss, illness, criticism. These are the natural pains of being human. Imagine you're walking barefoot and you step on a thorn. That sharp sting you feel? That's the first arrow. Or someone breaks your trust. That first wave of heartbreak? That's the first arrow. Or your boss criticizes your work. That initial discomfort? Again, the first arrow. The first arrow is unavoidable. It comes from life, circumstances, other people, nature, and time. But what happens next is the real turning point. Part 2 is the second arrow, suffering. After the first arrow hits us, our mind reacts. It starts thinking, imagining, exaggerating, repeating, fearing, reliving. That's the second arrow. And unlike the first one, this arrow is optional. We shoot it into ourselves. Imagine stepping on a thorn, painful, yes. But instead of removing it, you blame yourself. Why am I so careless? My whole day is ruined. This always happens to me. I'm such an idiot. Nothing good ever happens. Now the thorn isn't the problem, your thoughts are. The mind creates suffering bigger than the event. The breakup happened once, but we suffer for months because of memories and imagination. The insult was said once, but we replay it hundreds of times. The mistake happened once, but we punish ourselves repeatedly. The mind takes one arrow and turns it into many. Story of Master and the Student. A young student once asked his master, "Teacher, how do I stop feeling hurt so often?" The master smiled, picked up a pebble, and threw it into the student's hand. The student flinched. That hurt. The master asked, "And what if I kept throwing more stones at you?" "I'd run away," the student replied. The master nodded. That is the difference between the first arrow and the second. The first stone, the pain, was mine. But the next stones, the suffering, you would cause yourself by choosing to stay. In life, we cannot avoid the first stone, but we can step away from the second. Part 3, Modern Examples. Example 1. Overthinking. After a message, someone leaves your message on seen. That's the first arrow, slight disappointment. Second arrow, your mind says, they don't care. They must be ignoring me. I'm not important. They must be talking to someone else. Suddenly, you are suffering, not because of the message, but because of your mind. Example 2, Workplace criticism. Your boss says, this report could be better. That's the first arrow. But your mind goes, I'm a failure. What if they fire me? No one respects my work. I can't do anything right. The criticism happened once, but your thoughts keep stabbing you again and again. Example 3, Health issues. You wake up with a headache. Pain, first arrow. But then your mind starts, why does this always happen to me? I'm not healthy. I'm falling apart. I won't be able to work today. My whole week is ruined. Suddenly, the problem is not the headache, it is your reaction to it. Part 4. Why the mind creates the second arrow. There are 3 main reasons. 1. Fear. The mind imagines worst-case scenarios to protect you. But in reality, it creates stress. 2. Memory. We hold on to painful past events and relive them, even when they are gone. 3. Identity. Sometimes we attach our identity to our pain. I am someone who is always hurt. I am someone no one respects. I am someone who always fails. Once pain becomes identity, we shoot the second arrow again and again. Part 5. How to stop the second arrow. The teaching is simple. The first arrow is the event. The second arrow is your reaction. You only control the second arrow. But how do you stop it? Let's break it down. 1. Awareness. Catch the moment. When you feel upset, ask yourself, is this the first arrow, or the second? If it's the second, pause. This awareness itself reduces 50% of suffering. 2. Feel the pain, don't fight it. Ironically, resisting pain creates more pain. Let the emotion come. Let the body feel it. Let the mind acknowledge it. When you allow the first arrow to pass, the second arrow doesn't arise. 3. Replace thoughts with reality. Pain says, this sucks. Suffering adds, this will ruin my life. Shift back to reality. What exactly happened? What is the fact, not my story? What can I do next? Reality is calmer than imagination. 4. Breathe and respond slowly. When emotions rise, breathing slows the mind. Take slow breaths. Give yourself a small break before reacting. This small pause protects you from the second arrow. 5. Practice self-compassion. When you make a mistake, say, it's okay. I am learning. When you feel sad, say, it's natural. This will pass. When someone hurts you, say, I can't control their actions, only my reactions. Kindness to yourself is the shield that blocks the second arrow. Part 6. A real life story. Let me share a true story that beautifully explains this. A woman lost her job unexpectedly. That was the first arrow. She was devastated, shocked, confused, scared. Anyone would be. But then came the second arrow, I am worthless. I'll never find another job. My life is over. I am a burden. For months, she spiraled into depression, even though the event happened only once. One day, she met a monk who told her the teaching of the 2 arrows. That evening, she wrote in her diary, losing my job hurt once. But I hurt myself 100 times. From that day, she stopped shooting the second arrow. She focused on healing, learning new skills, and rebuilding her life. 6 months later, she got a better job, with better pay, better work-life balance, and more respect. Later she said, the job loss was painful, but the suffering was self-created. Part 7. The secret. You can't control life, but you can control the second arrow. Life will always give us unexpected problems. People who disappoint us. Situations we cannot control. Failures. Loss. Pain. These things are not in our hands. But how we interpret them, how long we hold on to them, how deeply we let them hurt us, that is in our hands. The pain happens. The suffering is created. Pain is nature. Suffering is psychology. Pain is a moment. Suffering is a story. The first arrow wounds the body. The second arrow wounds the soul. Part 8. Practical daily exercise. Here is a simple technique you can use every day. The arrow check. Whenever you feel hurt, ask 1. What is the first arrow? What actually happened? 2. What is the second arrow? What story is my mind creating? 3. Can I drop the second arrow? You will be amazed at how much lighter life feels. Life is not about avoiding pain. Pain shows we are alive. Pain shows we care. Pain shows we are growing. But suffering, that is optional. The beautiful truth is, you have far more control over your inner world than you realize. When you stop shooting the second arrow, life becomes softer, lighter, calmer. You start to live with wisdom. You start to respond instead of react. You start to heal instead of hurt. You start to grow instead of break. Remember this line, the whole teaching in 5 words is, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And every time life hits you with the first arrow, place your hand on your heart and say, I will not shoot the second. If this video touched you, please support this channel with a like, a comment sharing your experience, and don't forget to subscribe for more calming, meaningful stories. This is the Story Room by Jay. See you in the next story.